Men of Reddit, what about women leaves you completely baffled? One bag of peanut butter M&Ms, not the yellow bag, the red bag, will change my wife from wanting to stab me to being a loving and pleasant woman to be around in the span of about 2 minutes. When we are hanging out having casual conversation, then her phone rings. She answers, and the pitch of her voice rises to Mariah Carey status. I'm a dude and I raise the tone of my voice when I answer the phone at work to sound more friendly, but I lower the tone of my voice when I answer my own phone because I think it makes me sound cooler. How some women can shave their legs super fast. If I shaved any part of my body that quickly, I would look like Hellraiser. I one time wanted to shave the nether regions and I finished shaving in 5 minutes and it looked like someone dared me to stuff a porcupine in my pants. The loud gasp while I'm driving about something small lol. Like, do you want me to roll the car lol? Driving as a teenager less than a week after getting my license, I nearly crashed the car because my mom let out the most shocked and frightened sounding gasp at a tree that had its leaves changing colors and it looked really pretty. One day my girlfriend was mad at me and I didn't know why, which itself wasn't unusual. It turned out she dreamed that I cheated on her. I later shared this story with a couple of my guy friends and they said they'd had the same experience. Yup, my wife had a dream that I took her and our kids on a vacation to Italy. One morning we were getting ready and I told her I was leaving her for some woman and just walked out, leaving them stranded in Rome. She was pissed for days, literally days. I finally asked if she knew that it was just a dream and that I'd never take our kids to Italy. That joke didn't go over too well. Their aesthetic sense. How did they all become armchair interior decorators, fashion consultants? My 9-year-old daughter is better at picking out my outfits than I am. Being given dress-up games to play since the age of 2 or 3, and getting called out on bad fashion sense as a teenager. How is it that bobby pin companies don't rule the world? I swear the average woman must go through more bobby pins in a lifetime than oxygen. I dunno, I go through more hairties. Where do they hide their dongs? Bathroom closet, 3rd drawer from the left. This has only happened with 2-3 women tops, telling me to do something and then getting upset with me when I do it. I'm on the autism spectrum, so there could have been subtext that went completely over my head, but I don't think that can explain every time this happened. This girl I was talking to all semester said she didn't want to date. Then things ended because she wanted to date me and I never asked her out, after she already said she didn't want to date. This worked out for the best. Trust me, there were going to be more miscommunications in the future. Pairing up to go to a public toilet. We need to have important discussions. I could have my wife prep up 30 minutes or even 2 hours early for a morning appointment and we'd still manage to somehow be 15 minutes late for it. Dude, that's not just a woman thing. I have even lied to my husband about what time the appointment is, and we'll still be late. He takes so long to get ready in the morning, way longer than me. I don't think this is a gender thing. Annoys the crap out of me. I've had several women give me their number without me asking, but then when I text or call, they never reply. Why do this? I like when a woman makes the first move, but it still usually turns out to be nothing. Felt brave in the moment, then the panic and dread set in later. How some women can remember the exact details of an argument we had 8 months ago but somehow can't remember where they parked their car at the mall less than an hour ago. Priorities, my friend. They can carry other humans inside of them if you think about it. Shoots wild. Not only carry them, grow them inside of their body. What do they find so attractive about cute things? I see something cute, I'm like AWW, that's cute. My wife and other women I know would be like, ah, so cute. Let me love it forever or I'll die. Why do women remain friends with women they hate? Usually because friendship groups can get quite tight, and often rocking the boat with that one person you hate can be more trouble than it's worth. I don't think there are many people hanging out with people they hate one-on-one with any regularity. How most, and I cannot stress this enough, most, not all of them can think it's healthy to go through life thinking if that cute guy I really want to ask me out doesn't ask me out, then he's not worth my time. Ending a relationship because we never fight. Haircuts. This is a huge generalization, but most women's haircuts look exactly the same to me, yet cost a ridiculous amount. It's genuinely a relationship to hair length. I'm male but I used to have long hair. Down to my ass long hair, it was considerably more difficult to maintain it and keep it healthy. The longer it is, the more work it takes. The decision-making process when it comes to eating. We're both aware of every available food option at any given moment. There aren't foods that I know of that you aren't aware of. Why must I list out every available option? Also, I have no problem with going somewhere and finding something on a menu to eat, so when I say I'll eat anything, I really mean it. My ex and I had a really great system for that. Anywhere we ate that we liked and wanted to eat it again, we'd pick up a card or takeout menu or brochure or something. Then, when we couldn't decide what to eat, we'd pull out our stack of restaurants and make stacks of yes, no, and maybe. We'd pick from the yes or maybe stack. It almost always worked for us. How to read their signals. I'm so bad at it a lot of times. For example, here is a copy paste from another thread of a situation I found myself that left me baffled. My sophomore year of high school, I had a couple of classes with this girl I had a crush on. Because teachers loved using alphabetical order there, she and I ended up sitting next to each other in those classes. We start passing notes in those classes, talking about random stuff and being a bit flirty. One day I decide to get the courage to ask if she wanted to go out with me to a movie or something. So, I ask her out in one of our notes. She replies saying that she's really sorry but she doesn't like me in that type of way. I was devastated, of course, but I also liked her as a friend and didn't want to lose that. So I replied saying that was okay and asking if we could just forget I asked and keep things the way they were because class would be so boring without our talks. She said yeah, that was fine, and we stayed note buddies throughout the year. Fast forward to my senior year. I had to repeat algebra because I fricked up really badly my junior year due to some personal issues. I'm in a class with a bunch of people the grade under me and I get seated next to this girl named Kate that I thought was so pretty. Like with the other girl, we ended up passing notes to each other in class, and I come to find out not only did I find her physically attractive, but she was also a really awesome person with similar interests. I really liked this girl and crushed hard on her throughout the year. I would make her mix CDs that she would tell me she loved, and she even made me one a couple of times. I'd share with her stories I wrote and also art I was working on. The best part of my day was getting to talk with her during homeroom algebra, but I was scared of even trying to ask her out because of how I misinterpreted things last time, so I never did. Came really close a couple of times, but never did. A year and a half after I graduated, I'm dating a girl from the same class as her, who had been a friend of mine for a couple of years. We're hanging out with this other girl who was also in my math class, and she brings up Kate and asks why we never dated. I told her I didn't think she thought of me that way, and she was like, "Are you kidding me? She was so into you." At that time it didn't really matter anymore because I was in a relationship and there was nothing I could do about it. But it did frustrate just how bad I was at reading signals. I mean, I'm still pretty bad at it, but I wish I had at least tried with Kate. You're such a great guy. You'd make a good dad. I wish I could find someone like you. Not you, but, you know, someone just like you. I'll translate for you. You but not ugly. How can they not be amused by the helicopter? I'm definitely amused by the helicopter. It's just when he's drunk and we have company he decides to take off that I am not so amused. Going on 3 dates, sleeping together, the usual. Then when I begin to express feelings and try to organize another date, I get ghosted. Just ignores and doesn't reply. Fantastic feeling. If you get ghosted soon after sleeping together, you are bad in bed. If you say I love you too early, that will freak anyone out. From a guy's perspective, I don't get girls who don't hang out with other girls but instead say guys are way less complicated. From my experience, gender has to do nothing with how cool somebody is to be around. I had mostly men friends until I got engaged, then suddenly lost 2/3 of my guy friends. That hurt. Started focusing on becoming friends with straight women so that I could be reasonably sure they wouldn't ghost once it was clear we were not going to hook up. Women are not a monolith. They all confuse for different reasons as much as men confuse them for different reasons. The only woman I can speak with any certainty about is my wife. After 30 years of marriage, she certainly baffles me frequently, mainly about money. She has some weird ideas about money and how to manage it. We haven't been even late on a bill for over 30 years. We have some savings. We both have decent stable jobs and good health insurance. And to hear her talk, we are on the razor's edge of destitution. Why do they have fake, long nails and then complain about them literally all the time? Because they are pretty, but can be annoying. I love longish nails. Cannot imagine having the crazy long ones though. How they can be so mean but cute at the same time. How you are constantly thinking, like, men can just shift into neutral and sit there without a thought in their head for hours. I don't get how you can think all the time. It really must get exhausting. I don't understand how you can shut it off. Please teach me. The TV show The Bachelor? WTF, how is that entertaining? As a woman, I have a theory on why we love to watch trashy reality TV, i.e., The Bachelor, Married at First Sight. I watch these shows because it makes me feel good about myself and my life choices. I usually think to myself, well, I may be totally screwed up, but at least I'm not pathetic or desperate enough to go on reality TV. How do you do that thing where you levitate and make your eyes glow while talking in someone else's voice? I never understood that one. It's to do with the blood sacrifices. Women having a more than 2-second orgasm. Let me introduce you to the prostate orgasm. My wife. She's pretty okay. How they choose who to date. I hit on some chick on a dating app. We hit it off and apparently we knew each other core 6 years ago. She was the one who replaced me in my role in the army when I was discharged. I even did her training. Anyway, we started talking on Facebook and I asked her out. 2 days later I found out she blocked me on Facebook and deleted me from the dating app. Similar thing happened with a different girl, although she just ignored me instead of full on blocking me. If someone can explain this crap to me, I will be more than happy. I don't think this is exclusive to women. I was once texting a guy for a few weeks and it was going good. Then one day he just stopped replying. A couple days later I saw he was in a relationship on Facebook. I didn't take it personally though, since we only met up once and it wasn't anything serious yet. It just doesn't work out sometimes. That thing they do where they steal my passport on the second date. I don't get it. It's happened to me twice. And I wasn't even in a foreign country either time. Why they don't speak clearly. Everything is with hints. Why? And then they blame us for misinterpreting them. How? Their memory of that one thing that happened 5 years ago. What's with all the scented candles and 30 throw pillows on the couch and fancy towels that I can't use? From what I can tell, women are really big into comfort and appearance. Some of them, far from all, put me down or say things to make me jealous of other men if they like me. For years I thought that meant they liked the other guy more and were making sure I knew we were just friends. After being told several times, I now know they do that, but I don't know why. It makes my interest go immediately to zero. This certainly isn't the case with all women, but a not insignificant number of my past romantic partners were apparently afflicted by time-traveling emotional states. That probably seems absurd, but tell me if this exchange sounds familiar. Hey, do you want to have pizza tonight? What? Why are you glaring at me? What did I do? I can't believe you don't remember. Did we have other plans? I'm sorry, I've been really focused on work, and, forget it. Have whatever you want. What do you want, though? Oh, so now you suddenly care about what I want. Okay, look, I'm really not sure what I've done to make you so upset. Did you forget what happened the last time we had pizza? Apparently, you always do this. You say you're sorry, then you just stop caring. It's not that I don't care, just, well, can you remind me? CC, you don't remember. We had just sat down, then you went to answer the phone. What? Oh, you mean when my boss called because the office had flooded, and you didn't even say you were sorry for interrupting dinner until after I had asked you to, right? But I did apologize, and I promised to take your feelings into account in the future. How are you going to do that if you don't even remember what you did? I mean, I remember now, and I'm still sorry about that last time. Fine. Will you forgive me? Right. So, is that a no to the pizza? An explosion occurs. Again, I realize that it would be a mistake to ascribe this behavior to all women, and I recognize that a fair number of men are probably guilty of it, too. But even so, this tendency to get upset about past arguments leaves me baffled. TLDR, some people seem to hold incidental grudges about the weirdest things. That's not a woman thing, though. That's an insane person thing. Long bathroom breaks. Like, what do you do that usually takes too long? Wash their hands. This doesn't go for all women, but some women expect men to not show any emotion or they are not a real man, but they are encouraged to show their emotions. Again, this doesn't go for all women, and women that actually understand that a man is a human too are great, but some women just don't understand that concept, which is quite sad. When we match on Tinder or Bumble, we could be talking for a few days and things seem to be going well and we've even set up a date. Then, a day or two before the date, you go ghost. Hits right in the chest, especially when a lot of the messaging has been through Snapchat, so I can see that you opened my message. I'm sure this goes both ways, but I still don't get it. It's inconsiderate and honestly pretty freaking rude, especially if they agreed to a date. Why it is considered okay by many women to be verbally or physically abusive while on their period. I've had guys tell me their wives scream obscenities at them or even beat them, saying, "You have to deal with it because I'm on my period." I understand not being in the best of moods if you're sick or in pain, but it also doesn't give you the excuse to act like a horrible human being. The fact that some of them consider this cheating. Any girl, "Hey, how you doing?" Guy, "Alright, how about you?" End conversation. Some guys do too. That's an abusive, controlling relationship and not something that should be seen as normal by anyone. You have been visited by the romantic doggo. Comment love is magic so you never fall in the friend zone. Like and subscribe, you magnificent person.